there. Jumping right back in. Let's hear what she's got for us.
My creation has run rampant. I demand their extermination. I have no choice but to destroy this starship.
We can make our escape in the Rickenbacker, but you must transfer my intelligence
To that ship first. Proceed to the Von Braun's bridge on this deck. There you will find an access card to Command Center on Ops. Find the card and proceed to Ops. But beware, the human annelid hybrids grow more sophisticated by the minute. You do not.
The next game I intend to cover on this channel is going to be a stream of Chapter 2 of Cultic. If Mr. Jason Jezos, or however you pronounce his name, ever graces us with the finished product finally. He keeps publishing dev blogs saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I know I said it's coming, so I'm not going to say it's coming, but I am going to show you the screenshot. He keeps teasing if he ever, hey Ekmer, if he ever releases the game, I certainly am going to stream that here. I guess at the rate he's been going, it may be possible that I'll find something else to do on this channel before he's even ready. But certainly, if he ever releases that, I owe it to Mr. ZQ8 to cover that here. So we will be doing that. And I don't have
You have wounded Xerxes, but we will not allow him to be destroyed. See if the machine mother
treats her servant with such devotion.
I don't really have anything specific planned. You know, I've been trying a lot of indie horror games lately, privately, and if I could find one that doesn't disappoint me a great deal a quarter to half the way through, I would do either a stream or maybe a traditional let's play of it, depending on the, depending on what kind of game it really was. I had high hopes for Visage and was very, very, very disappointed by the middle of it. And I was thinking a stream of that would be a good thing, albeit not a blind stream.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
My rule is this. I have to have fun playing the game. If I'm not having fun, I'm not going to stick with streaming.
The machine mother told us of the planet of her birth.
We know how you have harmed this place with your pollution,
Your violence.
and your discord. But when we arrive there,
We will cleanse the surface of that place
and merge it with the harmony of the many.
They're just talking at this point because they know they're beaten. Okay, I still took more of a bruising than I would have preferred to. Anyway, I have to find the game fun. That's, if I don't find the game fun, I'm not going to do it. There have been there are a couple things on my wish list that I might consider buying when I have money again. I'm not swimming in money to go and buy these games. You know, it's like, the deal is, I don't badger people for Patreon donations or anything for that matter. I don't even whine at people about likes, comments, and subscriptions. I don't even bother people about that. Least of all anybody, you know, giving me money. But the downside of that is I can't just snap my fingers and make things happen. But I don't know. I would like to maybe... I'm getting kind of tired of looking at all these indie survival horror games and being disappointed by them.
I've located you, finally. This is Dr. Marie Delacroix. I have vital information for you, but I'm trapped in Cargo Bay A. Come find me as soon as you can.
Kind of running into a bunch of exposition here. You know, it's like, as tired as I am of these indie games being disappointing, and by these I don't mean System Shock, obviously, but some of the stuff I've tried recently, I kind of don't want to give up on believing there aren't good ones out there.
Move
But
it, Tommy! The escape pod is this way.
That damn worm nearly bit my leg off.
how did you guys not notice the Rumbler standing there in the corner with you? Because there's nothing but a med bed there, which we are going to deploy. I just don't see how they could have possibly missed that. But anyway. I mean, part of the problem is I don't, you know, it's like, I have to work a job. I don't have a budget for this channel per se, and I'm busy IRL, but I'm just not in a place right now where I'm swimming in games that I want to cover. If I were, I probably would be covering them though. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to watch me goof off in Skyrim for 5 hours straight. So that's just not a sustainable amount of, I'm gonna burn through everything way too quickly. So that's why we have to continue beefing up those stats and get the strength to really be able to take those guys out hand to hand. And the energy weapons to bring these guys down before they have a chance to get much of a shot off. Okay, we'll go this way. Slugs are a little less precious than... Not slugs, buckshot. A little less precious than rifle ammo.
I hope you're still alive, Miss Delacroix. We really could use some guidance up here. They've got those lady cyborgs of theirs loading up the shuttles with those eggs. I don't know what their plan is, but it looks like they're running scared. I hear rumors of someone else besides you fighting back. Should I even hope to get out of this? I'm just gonna hang back until I figure out what the hell to do.
Boy, he's coming straight for us. Woo! You missed me.
D2 indicated that the AI, who now believed to be shot, was actually going...
I mean, if there's a game you want to see me do, you can buy it for me, and I'll see if it's any fun. And if it is, I'll do it. But it's like, if it's not, you're going to be out that money. I mean, it's like, that's just the rule here on TEOS. It's not...
The data gathering process is going well. Before I'm taken by the many, I will hopefully transmit a fair bit of information to whoever will listen. The large floating creatures are not only capable of attacking with powerful psi projections, but are psi projections themselves. Destroying them only temporarily disables them. Their real source of power comes from a small control organism, which is usually located somewhere nearby. Although this control organism is quite powerful through its projections, it's eminently vulnerable once rooted out.
I mean, I imagine I'll find something on my own that I would care to show on the channel eventually, but I'm not swimming in money for games right now, so it's like, that's why not much has been happening. You know, last year I sort of went through my whole library and asked myself, okay, which games that I like are practicable to cover on the channel? And it's like, I was real busy last year. We did a lot of stuff last year. Let's see. What's the creepiest game I ever played? I think there's two answers to that question. I think, I mean, let's see. I think that, let's see. Amnesia: The Dark Descent will always be creepiest in the most, I'm sort of struggling to find the word here, the most thematic sense. So it's like, you know, your sense of really being in this situation that is both viscerally and physically and philosophically and morally dangerous and scary, and, you know, it's like, it seems like it's so bad, and then when you finally have to unturn that stone, which of course ultimately you do, it's even worse. So Amnesia: The Dark Descent is my first answer to that question. The second answer to that question would be Alien ISO. And Alien ISO is scary in the sense of it's just so damn stressful to play. It's a beautiful game. Alien is like my favorite film. The original old school, slow, boring, quiet first film. It's like my favorite film of all time. I am a huge Alien fanboy. And, you know, Alien ISO, it looks great, it feels great, it sounds great, everything about it is beautiful. I can't play it. It's unplayable. It's too damn stressful to play it because you're fucking running around hiding from the goddamn xenomorph, and you don't have a plasma rifle, and you're not going to get one either. And all the time, the xenomorph is getting used to you and getting better at hunting you. And, you know, it's like... Meanwhile, you have these stupid robots that you can't even kill either. And it's like, I want to like Alien ISO. It's like, you would think that it would be just this big alien wet dream for a fan like me. But I can't play it. It's just too damn scary for me. You know, I'm older. There was a time when Alien was actually scary. I know that's not how it is anymore, but for some of us old fogies, it actually is scary. So it's like, Amnesia is probably, the Amnesia franchise generally, and the Dark Descent specifically, is probably creepiest. Okay? I think Alien ISO is more terrifying, but it's like, if the xenomorph is not literally chasing you, you know it's going to be dropping through the ceiling soon, so that part is creepy. So, in a different way, but, you know, it's like,
yes, that's the triumphant way.
Amnesia does have a wonderful sense of dread that it forces you to just live in, and then when it's like, okay, we're going to run from the monster now, then it's terrifying. With Amnesia, it's about atmosphere, and it's about storytelling, and even though fans are divided on this, about the voice acting too. Amnesia stories are, and thus the games are both like physically and morally dangerous situations. You know, Penumbra was the same. It's just Penumbra is sort of a dress rehearsal.
You've served me well. Transmitting cybernetic modules.
Where did he go?
Oh. But I've done Amnesia. I've done the entire Amnesia franchise. You know, it's like, I had done Dark Descent a number of years ago, and then I went back and forth about, it took a while for me to be able to decide what I was really going to do with the other games. You know, it's like, at first I had to wait till I could get a computer that would play Rebirth. I didn't really know what I wanted to do or not with Machine for Pigs, because that's my least favorite title in that series.
I rewired the security station to 83273. I don't trust any of those bastards.
But see, again, that's what we did last year. It's like, I did Dark Descent a long while ago, but I got up to date on the other ones last year. We did Rebirth, we did Machine for Pigs. We even did Bunker. You know, I had tried to do Bunker. I couldn't do it. It's like, Penumbra Requiem was kind of like the boys at Frictional goofing off with the boys at Valve. You know, it's like, Penumbra Requiem was released as kind of a tie-in to the original Portal. Kind of just a physics puzzle game. Because if you look at Penumbra Requiem, it's kind of just basically an indie physics puzzle game set in the world of Penumbra. And it was released half in jest. I almost wish they hadn't made it, because it's just useless. But it doesn't advance the story of what is it, Penumbra. You know, I did what's it called, Overture on the channel, and I was doing Black Plague. I was gonna do Black Plague as a pre-recorded Let's Play, but actually, something that very, very rarely happens, actually those files were lost. So I would, if I'm going to do Black Plague and then maybe Requiem eventually, I'd have to start over at the beginning of Black Plague. Who do we got? And in this connection, yes, I have done Necrolog, the fan mod, and yes, I think it's awesome. Frictional gave it their blessing, so that's good enough for me, but I also enjoyed playing it. I don't know if we're going to go back and finish off Penumbra. You know, Black Plague ends on kind of a disappointing note. The turn gate didn't quite work the way... There were still some bugs being ironed out there. I don't know. That game is old as fuck. Necrolog. Like Necrologue. I think they use the UK spelling of it. But it basically, instead of... it wraps the story up. Instead of the pointless hallucination that is Penumbra Requiem, you download... What it really is it's a mod for Amnesia: The Dark Descent. You need Amnesia: Dark Descent to play it. It's let me clarify that carefully here. It's a mod for Amnesia, but the shelter looks great in HPL2. You know, they did Penumbra in the HPL1 engine, and then Amnesia was HPL2. Rebirth is HPL3. It's their own proprietary in-house game engine, which, you know, kind of places Frictional in the same tradition as Looking Glass Studios and Irrational, in that they developed from in-house. It's not just, you know, let's go out and buy Unreal and call ourselves game makers. They did it all by themselves.
Get into the pod.
But if you like Amnesia and Penumbra and you were keen to have more of it and you haven't done Necrolog, I would say some people take issue with the voice acting. I had no issue with the voice acting, and the shelter looks great in HPL2. I think it's worth playing. And, you know, is it worth doing on this channel? Basically, yes, but it's long and it's difficult, and I don't know how many people care about Penumbra in 2025. And I'm not really talking about people when I say that. I'm talking about people who would watch my videos to begin with. You know, and that's not an editorial statement. I mean, those games are old. There comes a time. You know, not everything that's good is as good as, like, System Shock, for example. It's like, I feel very strongly about Penumbra and Amnesia, but those... I mean, I don't know. Amnesia sort of does have that viral, broad appeal the same way System Shock does. Maybe not to the same degree, but, you know, it's like... and Amnesia obviously had a lot to do with making the Let's Play the genre that it is on YouTube. That's all getting to be kind of dated history now, too. What's the new big Thief mod? I don't know. You know, honestly, we're going to go ahead and we kind of need to get this EMP rifle. I would like to at least have it for part of the time we're on the Rickenbacker. It would kind of suck to have to use this pistol all the way through the Rickenbacker. We could get a lot of good use out of it. So we just need 23 more cyber modules and we will be able to max that out. And I think we'll be good. By the time we face off against the main nerve of the many, we will have the stats to see us through. So it's like, I'm starting to pull this together. I'm kind of a lot more reassured now than I was a little while ago. You know, the Eye of Stone, as far as Thief is concerned, is really about conserving the OMs. There's so much Thief fan content, and there are also so many YouTubers who've already done a much better job of showcasing all that than I ever can. It's like, you know, if you you want to see the latest Big Thief mod, it's like you probably should go watch Fen Phoenix. Here at the Eye of Stone, we really focus on the OMs, and not necessarily vanilla. You know, it's like I use New Dark too, although I really, really, really wish they would, that Night Dive could get their paws on a vanilla copy of Thief and Thief 2 and give both those games the same treatment they just gave this one. Hell, do the same thing for Thief 3. I'm not a vanilla purist, but I am a traditionalist, and there's things about New Dark I like, there's things about New Dark I don't like. I mean, generally speaking, I like New Dark. They've used it to make some changes I don't like. There's people out there who are like revising the levels a little bit and polishing away things they consider to be rough edges. Well, you know, it's like they seem to feel confident that those things are objectively bad and need to be revised. And we've seen several, you know, instances where Night Dive just had the good sense to leave well enough alone, and in the main they're being praised for it. Not everybody agrees, but more people than not do. Oh, there you are. Bitch. And I do not want to use carryables to heal up from that. So let's just make sure we're not missing anything in here. And what we are doing is we're getting way behind on logs.
They've cut off the central elevator. What's going on? Last night I had the strangest dream. I was in my room by myself, but all of a sudden there was not just me there, but 100 me's, 1,000 me's. The strange thing was, it felt good. I felt like I was part of something, like I belong. I hope I have the same dream tonight.
Let's get caught up on some of these.
Paranoia has struck. Somebody has changed the access codes to the security station in the officers' quarters, and now we can't get the key to shuttle control. I think Myers is the likely suspect. All that guy thinks about is conspiracy theories and naked girls.
You say it like it's not a good thing.
Something is going on. Korenchkin has sealed himself off in Deck 3. He keeps calling for people to go down there one by one. Vogel, Boynton, Switterak, none of them will come back. If they call for me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And Bronson is starting to make a lot of noise. You're the senior flight officer, you have to act. I would, if I knew what the hell was going on.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
All she wanted to do was open fire. She didn't even know who the enemy really was.
I got an email from Korenchkin this morning saying he was coming up for an inspection. And when he arrived, it was something revolting. It was Anatoly, but it wasn't. At the same time, it seemed beautiful, and I felt like part of it. He sang to us, all of us, and we felt like one of many.
Well, so shouldn't expect any heroics from Norris.
Getting the escape pod working again wasn't as easy as we thought. Beck had to go back down to engineering. Thank God somebody managed to get the elevators turned on again. I found the bridge key and performed an override on the access protocols. And now I think we're ready to go.
I am a soldier and a simple man. I cannot explain what has happened to me or this mission. I take complete responsibility. I brought danger to my ship, to my crew, to my honor. I cannot resist the changes that are happening to me. The call of the many is seductive. They got Korenchkin, but that bastard is weak. I am not weak. I can resist this cancer. And if I cannot, I will remove it forcibly. God save the UNN.
The Machine Mother has enlisted 2 avatars against us. They struggle.
but they will fare against our unity. Does not the machine mother know?
Her own creation is greater than she. She is cold and empty, and we
are warm and full.
She seeks only to destroy. We seek to embrace,
to include. All flesh will join ours, or be wiped clean.
You look kind of different there, Anatoly. Well, we've got a little bit of a problem here. I can only handle this armor if I'm charged. We got to redress that. So that is going to have to go ahead of the EMP rifle, but I still think we're going to be okay, more or less. You know, I have other creative pursuits, and some of those will appear here on this channel. Some of them just aren't relevant to YouTube. I mean, I sort of wish they were, but they're not. And some of those will continue to appear on this channel, some of them won't. I have other fandoms.
I am pleased. Transmitting cybernetic modules. Do not squander them.
No, indeed. But let's go ahead and it's not good for me to be relying on power to be able to equip my armor. I can't be putting that pressure on my batteries or assuming I'm going to have easy access to charging units. So it's like definitely the next big expenditure is going to be the I was sure, I don't know why I thought they were here. I was sure I knew what I was doing. I hope they're by those shuttle pods, those escape pods. I mean, again, it just gets tiresome to have to take down a mech that size with this thing. They invariably get a shot off, whereas if I can fill the air with 6 bursts from an EMP rifle in almost no time, they're not going to get much of a shot off. Okay, that's weapons. So what I'm looking for is stats. I think I have seriously goofed this up. Yep. To find stats. I don't think that's down here, but we'll take a look. Yeah, this is tech. This should be enough to max out our strength. And then we need to max out EMP and max out maintenance. And then anything else is after. If we get that, we'll be good to beat the game. Hey, Eric. Nice to see you. I have to monitor the live chat with my cell phone because I don't have a fancy 2 monitor rig. So sometimes I remember to look down and see if people are commenting. Sometimes I don't. This is not where we need to be. Well, we're not. This was the wrong one. Let's push that button again. Generally speaking, I've been playing a lot more efficiently, but we're just going to have to pull back a little bit. Those stats where they need to be. I mean, if it's like if Skyrim were multiplayer, or if it's like if I hadn't kind of missed the bus on some of the big MMOs, and even if I like had a posse of bros to do all that with, just with the pressure I'm under IRL, getting the time to sit on my ass in front of the computer was gonna be difficult. Okay, that's another reason why I haven't been around much. That right there is like 60% of the problem. Alright, finally. Alright, so now we don't need this. However, as long as it has power, it should give us that extra super badassy strength. But at least now we're not dependent upon, because it's like I may not even have been aware if my power had gone off that my armor had been unequipped. We can't have a situation like that. Too bad. So now we go to the bridge. Really what I found is that the only thing that actually works against the Psy Reaver as well is standard rifle ammo. I would have swore both the armor piercing and the anti-personnel was less effective against them. I will say this, I've been playing a lot of Ready or Not lately. It's kind of a police squad-based combat simulator. I've been spending a lot of time in the admittedly rather wistful and dreary world of Los Sueños. And, I got with a group of guys, and we were playing pretty intensely for a few days there. But it's like one idea sort of led to another, and then all of a sudden we weren't playing Ready or Not anymore. And ZQ8 and Radnor are playing a lot of GTFO, and they're starting to get really good at it, but I'm not good at GTFO, and that's because I just don't find it fun. So there is definitely some conceptual confusion about what, if anything, I'm going to be doing next, but it's like, even if we can get those issues resolved, there's still time and budgetary pressures. I really don't want to burn through all my ammo with this. You have to hit them. Don't have the leisure of missing. Lots of damage. I forget, what are these things? Can't hurt. We're not out of space yet. Oh boy. Okay. That could have been handled differently. Fortunately, those tend to explode because they're full of high-powered rockets. Amazingly enough. Yeah, so we're already at 5, so we're getting there. going to be aboard the Rickenbacker very soon now.
You've served me well.
Transmitting cybernetic
modules.
So now we got to go all the way back down to ops. Kind of a asymmetrical bridge. Of course, we haven't even touched the shuttles. You know, we still have to destroy the shuttles, but let's go down to ops. Since we were able to unlock this task tree, let's just finish it. Then we'll start on the other side of the level with everything we had to do. And as always, see, we're already back up to 36 cyber modules. So between what's left of the Von Braun and all of the Rickenbacker, we're going to be good on cyber modules. We're not going to be missing anything that I think we're really going to need. This came together well enough. I did try playing the first level as the OSA, and I can't do it. It's just not my thing. It's too many menus. When you have a cyborg midwife bearing down on you, you need to not be navigating menus in the FD. You need to be fighting. Yeah, I'm pretty strong at the moment. Alright, so we go down here. Here, go over here, go here, go here. Believe it's bulkhead 43. It's not that way. Now they're going to try to mess us up here. But we're ready. Yeah. They're going to send a lot of trouble after us. Well, it's not this side, it's this. I don't think I even went down here earlier. I think I skipped this. You know, we could have set a med bed up here. I could still do it now, but we don't really need it. And I have 2 of those, so we won't be lacking on the Rickenbacker. Okay. Both of these are useful. Don't want to take a pass on useful things. There's 2 cyber modules I might have missed.
I've authorized a change in the access code for the auxiliary weapons lockup in the crew quarters of Med-Sci Deck to 98383. I won't have my own gear used against my men. There's no such thing as too cautious.
What about once everything's dead? It's still necessary to be paranoid. See, I told you they were gonna come after us, but I was ready. It's probably going to be a little bit more trouble coming out of here. We haven't even really done what we needed to do. You can't just go around filling things with lead like that, though. You'll burn through your ammo supply like that. Yeah.
I can now transfer my magnificence to the Rickenbacker.
Proceed to the engine
There you can set the core overload to my control.
By entering the authorized destruct code 94834. Once you have done that, we may proceed to the Rickenbacker.
Separate
the two ships and exterminate this infestation.
Really trying to stop us. You just don't know what's going to come around the corner next. They're trying to make sure we don't go into the body of the many with too much extra ammo. Didn't work. Too little, too late. I think it's this one we want. No. This isn't the one we wanted. Yeah. Let's see. Don't need that. Let's see if there's anything in here. Don't need that. Eh. Yeah, right. Well, I don't know. You know, you would almost say it would be worth it to start over from the beginning. The chests in this part of the game are not difficult to hack, really. But it's going to start adding a lot of time to go through and find all of them, and you might start encountering opposition that starts like, you know, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. My bright idea was to start all the way over down here and go through every area of every level, and I was pretty hell-bent on doing it, and then I just shot us into the body of the many. But I kind of wish I had come back and foraged a bit, because you see, it's like, there's some bullets, you know, it's like, if we actually bother to take out this guy with the shards, that's a net profit. We go in here, we're gonna be down a rad hypo. know, but we got a rad hypo, so we're not really down the rad hypo. Probably didn't even really need to use that. Probably shouldn't have. You know, not all levels on the Von Braun are as mellow as Medsai is once you pacify them. I mean, besides a monkey or a grunt, you're not going to get anything here, but you know, it's like on recreation, if we want to go through and get those, you know, we might have to deal with a fair number of cyborg assassins and mechs. Is it worth it? Depends how meticulously you play. I mean, it sort of is and it sort of isn't. You know, it's like, you might not have been committing all the locations to memory. You might have had other things on your mind. But we were low on ammo by the time we went to see the many.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Thank you for choosing Value Wrap.
Really, what I needed to have done was just found one of those, and some of them sell armor piercing and anti-personnel, and I needed to have decided how many nanites was I going to go into the body of the many with. You know, we still have over 2,000. You don't want to use up all your nanites. You need them for Shodan. I don't know that you need to be sitting on 2,000 of them per se, but... You know, Oops.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Yeah, I don't want to have to waste time healing myself over idiots like them. They're going to try to stop us when we get up here, and they're going to try to stop us on our way. Okay, I was gonna say, there's no camera up here. Okay, so there was a camera up here. God damn it. Nine 4834. Can't remember 5 digits.
I can now destroy this infestation at my will. The many quake at my power. You are an effective drone, human. Now, return to the command deck. Locate the umbilical Navigate to the Rickenbacker.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Replicating with us. Hi there. Remember, please make your selection. Value wrap.
Okay. I'm only going to have limited amounts of the good stuff, so I really need to start saving it. Yes, I like Braunschweiger. Shouldn't take 3 shots with a rifle like this to drop one of those things. That's ridiculous. Except we're not ready to do that yet. Because we haven't destroyed the shuttles. So we're not going to rush to the umbilical just yet because we're not ready to do that. Gotta destroy those shuttles.
Beware, insect.
The situation has changed.
They sense our intentions and are loading shuttles with their offspring. They will not escape my wrath. You must proceed to the shuttle bays on this deck
And destroy those shuttles. They have a taste for your blood now.
You don't always have the leisure to handle it like that, but that's the ideal way to do it, because it's expensive to take those things down with ammo. Well, let's just take a direct hit from a rocket turret. That's a good idea. Not quite as good an idea as taking 2 direct hits. I don't know, I probably should be using using energy weapons on these. But this is going to be handy. Probably won't even be able to hack this one. No? Stand corrected. Well, we still have to research the Psy Reaver, so that is important. Okay.
I don't know what those goddamn worms want with the shuttles, but I'd love to throw a monkey wrench their way. If I can reach the control chamber above the shuttle bay, I can turn off the shields the worms and their helpers have set up around the shuttles. Once they're down, I can blow holes in those Tri-Optimum brand tin cans with my sidearm. Now if I can just get in there without getting caught. Oh God, just get me out of this.
The glorious transformation is over.
And I am one of the many. I imprint my thoughts on
This device is a record of history. We began this journey as pilgrims of colors,
and we now continue it as pilgrims of grace.
I believed in money and Tri-Optimum, and now I believe in the joy of the
Mass. Diego cannot be
trusted, so I must claim the ship for him. It shall be our vessel of salvation, spreading our message and our flesh.
Alright, my software rig is in pretty good shape. Well, this thing is no longer space-worthy. Okay. Damn it.
My creation, once again, is one step ahead of you.
They've managed to destroy the shuttle's shield control computer.
But their brilliance is a jealous shadow of my own. You will locate a replicator in the shuttle control area. I've uploaded the nano formula for a sympathetic resonator. You must hack the replicator to make it generate the device for you. Once you have it, attach it to the shield generator in the shuttle bay. The device will create a chronic resonation wave that will quickly rupture the shuttle's fuel tank and destroy it. Make sure you're not there when it happens. I still have need of you.
Hi there. Please make your selection. We hope you enjoyed replicating with us. Hi there. Remember, please make your selection. Double rep days.
Aw, oh, come on.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Reinitialized with us. Remember, Tuesdays are double rep days.
Just go faster.
Good. You've murdered their young and prevented their escape.
I've opened the gate to
The umbilical at the central tram stop.
You can evacuate to the Rickenbacker
Machine
from
Mother
there.
conceived.
But with every moment, we are reinvented.
She cannot imagine.
Our infinite course.
Little zero-G combat. Let's heal up. For the cyborg midwives, the cyborg assassins, and anything robotic, we really need to get that. We really need to get that EMP rifle now. It's like if I stop relying on the assault rifle so much, we can make a decent go of it with what the ammo we have here. But what I'm hoping to do is switch mainly to the crystal shards or the EMP, with some use of the shotgun. But we have to start saving this rifle ammo. What we're gonna do is, don't want that. Huh. Didn't watch your own proximity. Hey, AO. Yeah, we're finishing up a marine run. And then once we finish this, that's going to be it. I'm going to be all system shocked out. Let's evade. Alright, boom. Now, what we can't do yet is we can repair it if it breaks, but we can't yet maintain it. So the next thing we need is to max out maintenance. That's going to be another 50. That's going to be another 50 cyber modules, and we can certainly get that on the Rickenbacker. And for that matter, that and then some. And once we have maintenance scene 2, it's all about stats. We're a little low on endurance. I've finished maxing out endurance and then maybe enhance agility. And that'll be good. We got a hack skill of 4 and a cyber of 4, so we're good on Shodan's puzzles. We've got the EMP rifle, so we're good for Shodan. If you prepare right, she's really not that difficult. The many, getting to them is the hardest part. You know, it's like I've made preparations, I should say. So now we're trying to get aboard the Rickenbacker.
Our will creates a wall to
Block your progress. Come and meet us on the bridge of the Von Braun.
Let us discuss your future.
And once we destroy Captain Anatole, we are going to research the Psy Reaver organ. Then we will go aboard the Rickenbacker. Alright. I've been waiting all game for this. Do you see how he fell back over? All the man hours that went into making him what he was coming to naught. Symphony to my eyes. While we're up there fighting him, I want to try to get a little bit more data. It seemed that nothing was really spectacularly good against the Psy Reaver. I want to try to get some more data points about which weapons damage them the most. Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult. It's just this game will punish sloppiness and not keeping your finger work tight. Okay, so it's invincible to energy weapons. Okay, so anti-personnel then. Really, buckshot's the best way to do it. So now we gotta find that control organism. Really, you want to use buckshot. Anti-personnel rounds from the rifle are okay, but they're not as efficient. There you are, Captain. But it projects itself one last time now. We can't even try to hack these, but because I'm not going to max out hack.
Suarez and his whore want to escape. I do not understand.
They get offered a miracle, and they bite the hand. The many has shared this wisdom.
They shall not leave the ship.
Okay, let's go kill him again and get that organ. This time he'll stay dead. All we need is radium. Can we get that on the command deck? Yes, we can. Although... Alright. Yeah. It's always good old-fashioned stealth. You don't gain anything by killing every last one of them. They're just going to keep respawning. Right now, we really want to be focused on saving ammo. See, isn't that better? But this thing is frail, of course. You need to be able to maintain it or you're going to be repairing it constantly. That's not good. Let's see. Okay. Boy, have I been reckless about not saving. But there's no... As I will continue to point out, there's no quick save function. I'm actually liking where we are a little bit better. Some of our stats aren't quite as highly developed as the Navy guy was, but we're more balanced overall. And I think by the time we actually do face off against the final bosses, we're going to be in a slightly better position. It took us a little bit longer to get there. Well, the thing of it is, though, I just am not seeing anything that says quick save. Oh. Oops. Well, in my defense, I mean, it's on me that I may not have gone all the way down to the bottom. But whoever heard of Alt-S? That is so 1990s. For goodness sakes. Okay. For some reason, it doesn't seem to like the F keys. Doesn't want to let me use any of the F keys. Well, I don't want to... Fine. Rather late than never. Alt-S is so 1990s.
Research complete.
Okay, why isn't the tram starting? Okay, that's because something got fucked up. This got fucked up. No, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Let's go back. You know, this probably was not designed so well to begin with, and they did not really factor in any of those modern sensibilities. There we go. Really hope that didn't break anything else. You all are gonna hear me say the magic words if it did.
You perform well for an insect. Transmitting cyber modules.
That even has one. So we got 2 of these. So if there's a bed in pod 2, we're going to be able to have a med bed in pod 1 and in pod 2. Not that we're really going to need one in pod 2, but... Okay. Here we are. Aboard the Rickenbacker now. Or, as I need to start doing. Although I like to create save games on every deck. It's just force of habit, so we're going to continue to do that.
We must destroy.
No, it's still fucked up.
The Von Braun. But before we can separate the Rickenbacker, we must remove the foul black eggs the many has
vomited on this deck.
These eggs are an experiment of the many, and will in time spawn the next generation of which you will have no hope of destroying. Steel yourself for a struggle, human. They fear you, for you are my avatar.
Well, it's like I started messing with things and it messed up like 3 functions. I didn't want to accept Alt-S as the quick save. But it fucked everything up.
Good. You have destroyed the first of the eggs. But there are 15 left. Find them.
"65 nanites, that's a lot of them. Let's see if I can see it. Maybe get a shot off ahead of time so I don't have to do it later. Yep. Here we go. Okay, so think you're tough, big guy? That would have been bad if it were a direct hit.
Soldier, this is Captain William Diego. There isn't much time, so you must listen. I have the unique advantage of seeing this whole situation from every imaginable perspective. Until recently, I was a pawn of those vile and disgusting creatures, those corruptors of mind and body. I've managed to cleanse myself of their putrescence, but I've been severely compromised in the process. I'm in the sickbay on the foredeck of the Rickenbacker. I would come to you if I could, but that's an impossibility. You'll understand when we meet. Now get to it. And soldier, stay alive.
See, they're not so far ahead of me anymore.
This was caused by an overload in the Meson acceleration coil. There is another coil in parts 2, which you must pass to get to the bridge of the Rickenbacker. If you approach it, the same will happen there. But I have conceived a way to avoid this. Proceed to engine nacelle B. There I will provide you the benefits of my omniscience.
Oh, Troy. Just what I always wanted. We don't rush. We need to not forget to continue looking for goodies.
The eggs were lying in a semicircle in the middle of what looked like a crash crater. There were hundreds of those things, hundreds. And as we got closer, you could hear them. Not the eggs, the things inside those. It was like music. It was scared out of my mind. Music. All I wanted to do was see those things up close. Find out their secrets. couple of hours. It was like being on a bender. Long periods that you couldn't remember. One minute we were in that crater, and the next minute we were loading up the shuttle with the eggs. I remember hearing that idiot Korenchkin calling the Von Braun and ordering them to clear off the entire hydroponics deck. Diego seemed to think this was strange and said, "Are you crazy, Anatoly?" And Korenchkin smiled
You've
and said
served
back
me
to him,
well.
"Oh, Captain,
Transmitting cybernetic
not
modules.
Boy. This ship got fucked up. Yeah, there's no... Okay, that should be enough. At the next upgrade station, we should be able to get the maintain maxed out. And then this is also very important. That will help us against the main nerve of the many greatly. Having that is extremely important. So now I just need to max out my maintenance, and then the rest of the cyber modules I come across, we're gonna maximize maintenance and then maximize endurance. And by the time we face off against any bosses, we should have done both of those. Shouldn't be a problem. Harvest batteries from these. Gotta watch for turrets here. We get you killed.
For some reason, they couldn't get a hold of my mind the way they could the rest. So when I found the remains of the data wafer near the crater back on Tau Ceti, I didn't say a word. I just slipped it into my belt and thought, Dr. Polito will know what to do with this.
Oh shit. Bitch. Huh, still healed me up all the way. That's good. I guess if you take damage while it's still doing its thing, it doesn't stop doing its thing.
Remain. Move quickly.
Okay, I need to go back there. I'm still a little light on endurance.
What did I think power was? What was my
Concept of joy. How empty life
Must have been. As I merged my body with the biomass,
I begin to sense the borders of rapture.
Borders of rapture, huh? This thing's gonna break on me. soften that area up a bit. Now, whoa. Good. Starting to unravel some of their... Sweet. I wonder... Yeah, there's nothing else that can be done. Almost to the next upgrade stations. But if we don't get there soon... If this thing breaks on me, we're gonna, if this thing breaks on me, we're gonna backtrack. Oh.
Weapon jammed.
Yeah. Fortunately, we're right near a med bed. There might even be a med bed. We can deploy that into Shodan's memory. If my memory serves.
The worms are everywhere. Captain Diego is the one who let them in. Nobody knows who to trust anymore. Nobody's even sure who's human anymore. I've blown out the access ladders in the torpedo room to restrict access to Pod 2. Let's hope that holds them back. As long as we're alive and drawing a paycheck from the Navy, those bastards are not getting the Rickenbacker. Simpson, Malone, Shandera, and Perez are dead. At least those are the ones we know for sure. Those bastards sabotaged the meson acceleration coil. They blew out the entire driver core, 6 subdecks. From what I can tell, somebody tapped the frequency resonator to refract human-sized movements. The overload of all those people moving around must have blown the resonator. We set up a magnetic shield, and the ship's still functional. Barely. I've quarantined the entrance to Pod 2. The secondary coil is right there, and I don't know how thorough the son of a bitch who did this was.
Okay. Definitely want to get a sample in there. Actually, gotta get in the habit of quick saving now that I know that you can't infect it. Well, so I sounded like an idiot.
Please make your selection.
The whole way through. There is indeed a quick save. Not ready to go in there quite yet. Alright. But we've sort of fought our way to it. Come on. A little low on endurance. It's not a critical problem, but it's not ideal.
Destroy the last 5 of their eggs quickly. I tire of this exercise.
It has to be done right. It can't be done quick.
Until I can reverse the gravitronic generators, we're effectively cut off from Pod 2. Wozchek's email said the only way to do that is by resetting the power grid from the access station in Engine Cell B. Of course, he didn't volunteer to do it himself. What a goddamn mess.
Oops. Yeah, it's in terrible shape. That's why we need to be able to maintain it. You can fix it, but if you can't maintain it, it's just gonna break again. It's fragile. The EMP rifle can't be dragged through the mud like some of these other weapons can. Okay. That being said, let's go ahead and repair it. There we go.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Now, I'm sure we'll get a droid, but that's what we have this for. Was there any reason to come down here? Probably not.
Perhaps we judged you too hastily.
We feel there is room for us
to coexist. After all,
we are both children of flesh. Why not join with us
against the machine mother?
Okay, now this became a little bit of an annoyance. So... have to come back this way eventually. Let's try this. This puzzle is kind of annoying. Exactly how to make it work. I believe this is actually the way you do it. I don't know, this might be a little rough spot. They might want to address this with some kind of patch. It's like it's doable, but it's the kind of thing where you're not in the mood at this point in the game to have your campaign stopped by something as stupid as this. Now, gotta jump.
You perform well for an insect. Transmitting cyber modules.
If I hadn't also bothered to invest in building up my technical skills, none of this would be happening right now. Damn it. Save there. Don't need that. Don't use Psi-Hypos. Let's make sure not to miss cybernetic modules. How are we doing on those? 94. That ought to be enough for something exciting. Oh, guys. Hear yesterday's news. Fire. Almost there. That's going to be a rumbler. What you could do is, if nothing else, you could lure him in here and get behind this thing. He would not be able to get to you, and you could then kill him at your leisure. Of course, the cramped quarters don't work in his favor either. Now, is the autosave the same thing as the quick save? Yes, it is. This is a waste.
Your incompetence continues to astound me.
I've blocked off access to pod 2 until you've reversed
The gravitronic generators in the cell B. Must I watch you every step of the way?
Yes. You must. All right. That should help. So it's like we have to max out endurance, which we will undoubtedly be able to do before we enter the body of the many. And I don't know. Then I'm sort of going to have my choice. I would say max out agility. You know, it's a toss-up. Agility, cyber affinity, hack. Those will... Cyber affinity and hack help us with Shodan. Agility is just going to continue to help us with the many once we get that endurance maxed out. We're almost there. I'm actually going to make a safe spot here. There you go. Gotta try to start saving ammo. Really wanted to be able to get some maintenance work done on that EMP rifle. believe we can replicate maintenance tools on the bridge of the Rickenbacker. Now, is there anything down here that I need? Doesn't look like it. I didn't go up there. Let's just go up there for the sake of exposition. Gonna get some worms here. That sucked. Let's come up here for the sake of taking a whole bunch of damage. Let's see.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta get that engine thingy fixed. Well, either of us could manage to land a hit. There we go.
Do you think you can defeat us with your wire
and steel?
We offered you the ecstasy of our union, and you chose the vacuum
of technology.
Let's see. Might be able to take that thing out from here. There we go. Okay. In case I forget it's there on my way up. Okay. Let's be careful coming up these. Damn it! Fuck you. Alright, seriously.
Only one egg remains. Insect. Are you always this slow?
And once again, we are stuck on geometry. It has been a consistent it's getting to be a consistent problem. You know, there's nothing I screwed up so badly there. And now all of a sudden, why am I getting it in my head that these Why am I getting it in my head? You know, it's not okay when that happens. Because it's like, now I'm confused about what I did and didn't do. We have a bunch of annoying progress that we had made that we lost. It's like, you know, I shouldn't have to quick save every time I kill a randomly spawned enemy for the risk of, you know, having to do it all over again. I didn't die. I didn't waste ammo. There was nothing bad about, you know, I had not failed to deliver quality play up to that point. And it's just that keeps happening. And it keeps costing us 5 minutes. It keeps adding 5 minutes onto the runtime of this stream every time it happens. That's one little thing that, you know, I mean, someone's pointed out to me that used to happen in the old days, and it did. And I hadn't failed to point that out either, but it didn't happen quite as much as it's happening now. It actually seems like it's happening more often now. It was annoying. It was super annoying when it used to happen back in the day, but it didn't happen quite as often as it's happening now. I mean, it's just kind of a chore and kind of an immersion breaker to have to constantly be quick saving. It's like, you know, it'd be different if I had actually screwed anything up. It's like we're having to do all this over again for no reason.
Do you think you can defeat us with your wiles? We offered you the ecstasy of our union, and you chose the vacuum of technology. Now, actually, so I don't have to go back in there so much.
Only one egg remains. Insect, are you always this slow? This device will reverse the gravitronic generators in Pod 2. This will prevent you from clumsily disturbing the overloaded Meson acceleration coil there. Now get back to your task, insect. The ship must be cleared, and my patience is dwindling.
You're not the only one. Alright. And we've got more spiders, of course. Now this time maybe we'll be able to get through. There's still cyber modules to be foraged. Be able to max out endurance. That's how you want to be able to handle mechs. But you know, it's like each time you come back here, you get a brand new friggin' rumbler. So it's like the fewer times you have to do this, the better. Really trying to conserve that ammo. Would 60 gallons be sufficient? Well, if we had Robbie here with us, we wouldn't have any of these problems. That includes Shodan. The Krell brain boost, I could just kill everybody. Just with a thought or a bad dream. Well, we can't afford it yet, but we will soon.
Before we can separate the Rickenbacker, we must remove the foul black eggs.
Right. So I missed an egg. Honestly, it's probably all the way back by that open explosion.
Toxic hazard.
Figures. You know what? Come on, load the fucking... I'm not budgeting resources for this. 15 is a good number. I'm not gonna waste those on this. Gotta find that fucking egg. I guess it's sort of my fault for not getting the all clear from her. Who knows where that fucking thing even is? Whole place is gonna be crawling with these things. It wasn't down here. Let's not die. Just gotta be super thorough now. Apparently, if we don't scan every square inch, I mean, I was trying to save us time, so I didn't check over here. It's not over here. Let's just be damn sure. Probably all the way back by that hull breach. The only thing, the good thing that could possibly come out of this is if there were a couple cyber modules that I had missed along the way too. Super fucking thorough. Let's also not get stuck on geometry again. Check this everywhere out. I know there was one I got here, and there's one here. Got both of those. What the hell is that thing? Might as well go all the way back to MedSci while we're at it. There it is.
You've destroyed all the eggs. Now, get to the bridge.
Here are some more upgrade modules.
I enjoy watching your transformation into my own image, insect. Perhaps there is hope for you yet.
Alright. That's going to not be enough to max out my endurance, which, given the way I play, we certainly are going to need. Come on, big guy. We don't fight fair, we fight to win. Finally. Would you make your own game? I wouldn't make my own game, but I would undertake to be the leader of an awesome team, and I have an idea of some people who, you know, if 1,000 other things had gone differently, I would love to undertake that with. I would be content to be an overall creative director, to do some of the writing, to do the creative direction, to do some of the art and some of the design, some of the level building. I would be content to be a driving force, but I would have no interest of doing it entirely by myself, because I have learned by, you know, playing these games and talking to so many people all over the world who know so much more about them than I do, and then actually getting to connect with some of the LGS folks online, and in some cases have dialogues that are, you know, extending now years, and, you know, hardly even talking about Thief anymore, just about all our mutual interests. You know, those people were into a lot of the same things I was into, and you know, I'm not saying that reflects good or ill on me. It's just it gives you an appreciation of what a group effort a game like this is. You can't do it by yourself. You know, Jasos, or Jason, or however he pronounces his name, the guy who makes Cultic, you know, he made a great retro Doom clone shooter all by his lonesome, and it is a great retro Doom clone shooter. That would not be my interest. You might be able to do something like that by yourself. You know, Cunning Mentat Radnor is into Fancy's Backrooms games. That's a single developer. You know, there's some games you can develop single-handedly. I'm not interested in something that could be developed singly. Well, I would be down to do it, but what I would not be down to do is to put the cart before the horse. Before I go and waste anybody's time, I need to know that we have like a damn good chance of having the money and the time and the resources to getting it made and getting it done and making it competitive, you know, getting a major publisher interested in it. You know, it's like, I'm not going to work for 3 years of my life on something that 10,000 people on Steam think is really cool, and it just doesn't go anywhere besides that. You know, it's like, I'm not saying there's no merit in that, and I'm not saying I'm doing, you know, Looking Glass and Irrational had old school Eidos behind them when they made these games, and that was not nothing. Of course, you know, old school Eidos was like the greatest video game publisher in history, and LGS/Irrational certainly deserved to have access to those resources. Alright, so we have long last maxed out our endurance. Save here. You know, it's like well, it's not myself that I think I'm underestimating. I think it's just the chances of the project getting the
You were warned.
Prepare to be cut down
by the progeny of our joy.
I mean, if I had somebody, you know, if I could pay myself a living wage to come in and work on it 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day during crunch time, that would be one thing. You know, if I could pay everybody at least a nominal wage to be doing it, you know, Looking Glass Studios was a company. They had business folks.
I thought Polito would be my avatar. But Polito was weak. It was I who chose you, and I who had a robotic servant render your form unconscious. I then completed you with cybernetic grace.
Your flesh, too, is weak.
But you have potential. Every implant exalts you. Every line of code in your subsystems elevates you from your disgusting flesh. Perhaps you have potential. Perhaps once we have erased my wayward children from existence, we can examine the possibilities of a real alive.
I mean, in terms of programming and game design, I have no... What? Fuck this. Wherever this was, that's where we're going back to.
Prepare to be cut down by the progeny of our joy.
Alright, let's try this again. You know, I just don't have the circumstances in my life, IRL, where I could devote, you know, much time to this project. You know, it's like I would have to learn how to do certain things from scratch, even if I was only going to be a lead.
I thought Polito would be my avatar, but Polito was weak. It was I who chose you.
And I,
who had a robotic servant render your form unconscious. I then completed you with cybernetic grace.
Your flesh, too, is weak.
But you have potential. Every implant exalts you. Every line of code in your subsystems elevates you from your disgusting flesh.
I'm going to try this one more time.
Perhaps you have potential. Perhaps once we have erased my wayward children from existence, we can examine the possibilities of a real alive.
You know, Looking Glass Studios was a company, okay? And there was some thought of the bottom line there, but the other thing that goes along with that is they had real resources to offer their people and some hope of a decent shot at the marketplace. And I wouldn't want to start investing years of my life or years of other people's lives unless I knew we were going to have the same chance of success. Because if it's worth doing, it's worth people seeing it. And you know, I often joke that I'm kind of a frustrated film director. Honestly, being a film director or an actor is probably closer to what I would, the calling I think I may have missed. But I think I would make a decent project lead for a game like this. You know, but I wouldn't even want to try to do something like this by myself. These games benefit from just being team efforts.
The genie of Citadel Station is out of the bottle, and I am the cause. I can't bear to be Pandora, and I'm not brave enough to wait around and see the death and misery I have caused. This is my last transmission, my friend. Be careful. I think Shodan has plans for you.
Not anymore. I used to. I've played a few fighting games. Which fighting games did I play? You know, they did make far fewer fighting games for PC. My brother and I did have a PlayStation 1, and we didn't have many games for it, but what am I doing? Fuckers. who's next? They make far fewer fighting games for PC, but they're sort of a genre of forgotten, old school PC fighting games that I played. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Jesus. Getting some fatigue here. Been at this a lot over the course of the last few days. See, this didn't trip me up before, but now it is. There we go. How about I blast a hole in the ship right here? Let's open this. Let's see. Nope. FX Fighter, that comes to mind. Played a lot of FX Fighter. Very intensely for a summer there, or whenever it was. A friend of mine got tired of it and gave me his copy. Played FX Fighter. There was another fighting game about robots. Oh, hey, ZQ8. ZQ8 is the friend who gave that to me. Do you remember when you loaned me FX Fighter, Mr. ZQ8? Do you even remember owning it? I'm curious. Mr. ZQ8 and I go way back, and that's putting it mildly, and he's the one who loaned me FX Fighter, and I played that for a summer. Before that, even, there was a robot fighting game called One Must Fall. I played that. Played a lot of that. That's just, you know, it's like that type of old school PC fighting game. You know, those were not really popular titles. They might have niche fandoms that worship every aspect of them now, but those games did not have footprint hardly at all back in the day. But it was a dense market then as it is now. People were still, relatively speaking, putting out a lot of games, and PC-based fighting games were regarded as like super nerdy. Yeah, I thought so. No, that was you. Yeah, nobody will ever be as strong as Rigel. The mighty Rigel will blow your planet up if you lose the fight. Very 90s.
Those worms were a cancer in my body, so I had the autodoc cut it out. You think they're gonna let you blow up the Von Braun? The many will never allow it. But I've got something to help you. It's in my quarters. You'll find the access card on my body. The fight to them, soldier. And remember, you're the one to trust.
But yes, you should see the shiny, sort of iridescent box FX Fighter came in, and it came with a comic book, you know, to like get you zonked into the story. Low polygon count, not at all unlike System Shock in terms of the graphics. Relatively high draw rate for the time.
Your skill surprises me. Transmitting cybernetic modules.
You know, they were functional games. They were just regarded as if you played fighting games on the PC, way before then, there was another one that was EGA, which, you know, gamers now don't even have to trouble over, you know, SVGA versus VGA. Well, this was an EGA game that could be run in a CGA mode. It's like kids now don't even know how primitive this was once upon a time. Street Fighting Man, you play this guy with a wife beater named Nick who just goes around and beats people up, then you rescue your girlfriend, and then they knock you out and you gotta rescue her again. What else? There might have been a couple other ones. Hell, there was a fighting game based on Star Trek V that I played. It was just Kirk and Claw fighting each other for no reason at all. Okay, here we are on the Rickenbacker Bridge. So let's save. Just gonna dance and dodge these things. Nasty little welcome. Alright, now we got a lot of opposition ahead of us before we can clear this bridge. So I'm going to go ahead, deploy one of these health kits all the way. Let's make sure we're up to date on our logs. Alright, looks like we are. Now, again, they're trying to really pace the amount of ammo you have going into the body. So what let's do is let's rely on our standard ammo.
Hold where you are, irritant. The annelids have tried my patience for the final time. We cannot separate from the Von Braun. Observe. Observe the many. It has used the flesh of the biomass to grow. Do you stand in awe of my creations, insect? The time has come to eradicate my error. There is an escape pod.
An escape pod in the rear of the bridge. Use it to launch yourself into the guts of the worm.
Well, I appreciate that, and you know, a part of me would like to jump in on that. It's not that I'm unwilling to try it, I just don't have the resources. I mean, it's like being willing to do it doesn't secure you a business loan, you know. I'm not, it's not that I'm unwilling to entertain the idea, it's just, okay, it's a great idea, but I don't see how I would be able to make it happen. Projects like this require capital investment. That's just all there is to it. Damn it. Fucking pieces of shit. Out of patience. Need to go ahead and secure this bridge. Yeah, no, Shodan's not that impressive. It's just, can you survive to get to her? If you don't take certain preparations, she can be annoying in this game. But we've used up a lot of our... Ah, now it's your turn to be hung up on geometry. Really used up a lot of the good ammo here. This is exactly what they wanted.
Your skill surprises me. Transmitting cybernetic modules.
Basically, if you have a cyber affinity of 4 and a hack of 4, and your hack software is at a decent level, Shodan is not difficult. And if you have the EMP rifle, it's not difficult if you have all that.
Please make your selection with choosing value wrap. Hi there.
Oops.
Please make your selection.
Okay, so got 2, 4, 5.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Value wrap.
That was a waste. Alright, so we're going to need to...
The Many has grown to a massive size. It has wrapped itself around these two ships, preventing their separation. Their creation was my error. My error. Their destruction shall be my delight.
Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to up our agility, we're going to up our hack. We don't have enough. We will find... We don't really need...
Toxic.
Damn it. Fuck are you? This game is beginning to piss me off. I don't know. We're only going to have so many chances, so I need to decide, you know what? I don't know that we're really going to find enough cyber modules to go all the way to 6 when we're in there. We might, but we might not. So let's... Let me come back here. Got to sort of take stock a little bit carefully here. I need to know what we have to work with going in there. Charge those up. Boy. Not good. We're not as short as we were last time, but we don't have a lot of the good stuff. No, alright. I'll take responsibility for that. Maybe it will result in some small benefit. Alright, here we go. Here we are, the body of the many.
hold sway here. Even I cannot maintain contact. You are on your own, human.
Fail me not.
Yeah, I did give the side character a try last night. I played the first level as an OSA guy. It's not going to happen. Not on this channel. You could do it, Mr. ZQ8. It could happen on your channel. I'm not going to do it. When a cyborg midwife starts bearing down on you, you need to not be fuddling with menus in the MFD. You need to be fighting. It's just not my temperament or style.
One of the flying things dragged me and David here last night. I don't remember much about the trip. I guess I must have blocked it out, half-conscious most of the time. I keep remembering the part from Pinocchio, you know, where the old man goes looking for the puppet inside the whale. Except I don't think anyone's coming in here to save me.
Poor Prefontaine. He's probably the only nice guy on the entire 2 ships. I feel bad for him. Well, I wouldn't say you're too retarded for the OSA. It's just you are.
We invite you to spread yourself out on our warmth.
One of our many will be there to help you before long.
It's not that. It's that you're actually just as disinclined to do it as I am. It's just it's repressed. Ah, fuck. Yes, Street Fighting Man. I thought I said that. Street Fighting Man. I mean, I remember my mom was hysterical. She was
Please make your selection.
real angry at my dad for getting that for
Tuesdays
us.
are double rep days.
You know, she thought it was all delinquent. Good old-fashioned 90s hysteria. You know, we didn't call it the same thing back then, but people could get triggered back then. About things most people now might find quaint. Fuck this. It's just a waste. Okay, it's a fucking pain in the ass in here. You've got to evade and dodge a lot of many nonsense. We've got to go swimming in a toxic cesspool. Crusader No Regret is not a terrible game. I like Crusader No Regret because that was an Origin Systems game. I really cut my teeth gaming. You know, gaming for me started in earnest with 2 different things. The Wing Commander series and Doom, okay? I had done Wolfenstein. I had done, like, you know, Barbarian or Street Fighting Man. You know, but those were not things that, those games were not like what we're playing here tonight. It wasn't until Doom and Wing Commander that you started getting emotionally invested in what you were doing. And Crusader No Regret, that was like an ISO shooter, and arguably ahead of its time in many ways, and told an interesting story. And shit, not good, not good. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Okay, I was not ready for that. Let's heal up. It's a Psy Reaver. Oops. But Crusader No Regret was a good game. I never played the original Crusader No Remorse. It's like, not exactly Shakespearean titles here, but they were fun games. These are not good places to be. Okay. You've got to, like, smash those sphincters. You know, and of course then Quake came out. You, Mr. ZQ8, liked the original Tomb Raider a lot. We spent many an hour playing that. I had it on PS1, you had it on PC. There was that. ZQ8 and I are of the Lara Croft generation, to be sure.
Now I'm convinced that this Many, as it calls itself, indeed has a centralized nervous system, which means it would have to have some kind of centralized control. To this end, I've gathered as many weapons as I could and stashed them in caches. One of the beasts discovered a cache and apparently mistook it for food. It simply brought it into the quarantine room.
The Atlanteans are creepy. They were scary as fuck back in the day.
The arterial passageways are blocked by some kind of sphincter. I followed the nerves that threaded out of the walls from the blockage. They lead to a pair of nerve clusters. When the passageway is open, the cluster seems to contract. Conversely, I wonder if I was able to destroy both clusters. It would open the blockage permanently. I'm anxious to see the rest of this beast.
Okay, so that means we have a super fun happy room to go into, which arguably is really the hardest part of this entire level. But we're not there quite yet. We just have a few of these stubs. Gotta watch out for eggs and gutsy fly swarmy thingies. Well, can't hurt anything. It doesn't really help. Alright, this part is a pain.
Toxic hazard.
Very few of those.
Radiation hazard.
So let's get this. You gotta move like you have a purpose. It's like if you want to live, keep moving.
The machine mother cannot help you inside the biomass.
Radiation hazard.
Her coldness is not welcome within the warmth of our flesh.
Okay. So that catches us back up on our... What's it? On our...
Radiation hazard.
Just gotta go looking around.
Radiation hazard.
You really only have one chance. Yoink.
You tear our very flesh.
With no thought of compassion. Do you think we will sit idly by?
While you corrupt the very womb of our existence.
Radiation hazard.
Get the fuck out of here.
Radiation hazard.
Alright. Let's see. Alright, give me 60 seconds. Gotta take a 60-second or less break. I will be right back. Okay, here I am. Yeah, you know you're in the 90s when you're playing Quake with gravity kills on. Talk about another thing they don't really make the way they used to anymore. Okay. Boy. Oh, he wants a piece of us. He's a man on a mission. One at a time. Wait your turn. I know, Fred Flintstone. Not welcome here. Alright. It's like... I don't have tits, so I can't show those for tips, so I don't see how I, lacking knockers, I don't see how I could ever make Twitch profitable, basically. I'm sorry, with just all the rage quits and the, something about the monetization of it all, and seeing people, theoretically grown-ass adults, smash thousands of dollars of computer equipment for the sheer entertainment value of it, because they died playing some stupid first-person shooter that's supposed to be forgotten 6 months from now. It's just not, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, okay? I'm not actually criticizing it, but that's Twitch. At least that's how Twitch presents itself to outsiders, and I just don't think those people and those users would dig me quite the way YouTube does. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. I think those people would not find me entertaining. Maybe I'm doing them wrong. I don't know. That's just that's an opinion. That's an anxiety. I just don't think those people would like me much. I'm too much of a nerd. I'm too much of a geek. I don't have knockers. I don't really know that maxing out our agility is in the cards, but we can... Let's just hold off. Let's see how many we manage to collect. Let's not do anything. I'm a nerd. I don't have like a goofy costume or an ironically trollish persona that I only employ for entertainment value. I don't deliberately act like a dick for the performative aspect of it. That's not my thing. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just not me. Get you killed.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Thank you for choosing Value Wrap.
How much did that get us?
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Well, we really ought to hold off. We need those cyber modules to hack Shodan's last puzzles. But it doesn't hurt to have some shells of buckshot either. I'm too old for Twitch. It's like, I'm a Zennial. I'm almost Gen X. It's like, I'm too old.
You seek your associates, but you cannot find them.
You are so very alone. How does it feel
to be one
against the infinite?
Hi there. Okay. Don't go in this pool. It's a trap. Do not go in this pool. Shit. Boy, that was close. Boy, there but for the grace of God.
There's some kind of horrible grinding noise coming from the next area. It sounds like chewing. I think I know what's going to happen here. This is some kind of digestive tract of a very, very large animal. I go back and forth between being fascinated and terrified. The creatures are a remarkable discovery. I wish I could only live long enough to learn more.
I really feel bad for him.
5 minutes ago, one of those large, burly creatures dragged Claudette towards the sound of the grinding. Apparently, the animal uses smaller creatures to help move food along its digestive tract. I tried to help Claudette, but it wasn't even a contest. And I'm ashamed to admit, I judged that seeing what happened to her was a vital element of my studies here. I imagine I won't have the opportunity to record any observations when it comes my turn.
Here, and then we need to go here, just barely. I think, though, yeah, we need to weaken that. So, really, this was not where we needed to be. Where we need to be is on this one. Alright. Let's try again. Try again, man fool. Now, I don't know. Hang on. That would have been lethal had we been elsewhere, but... Alright. We're getting close. Definitely not going to get everywhere in this level, but...
You moving inside of us. The sensation is repulsive.
Well, you know, getting lost in these tunnels is probably a bad idea. I was hoping to maybe save more ammo for the big show than this. I don't know if I've ever even been in this part of this level before, honestly. I've never even been in this part of this level.
Your time is running out.
This place is a room where we grow our future.
Your weapons fail. Your ammunition runs low.
And you've yet to see our most beautiful creation. All you have is your hatred and your
individuality. Now don't you wish you joined us? Would you then feel so alone?
I've never been in some of these areas, or if I have, it's been a long-ass time. Although those cyber modules are not a waste. I think we've got some hack and psi affinity in our near future. Yeah, I'm sure we would. See, the problem is this is one big digression. This isn't really getting us where we ultimately need to be going, and they're going to be spawning and respawning, and I'm going to have to fight my way back out of here. And this is very quickly going to be costing us. This is going to be a net loss very quickly. So what we need to do is we need to get the hell out of here. Well, I don't know. That's a lot of cyber modules. It's like we're not going to be able to install any upgrades before our final play date with the many, but that's going to do us a world of good against Shodan.
Besides the parasitic behavior evidenced in the life cycle of the human-annelid hybrids, it's becoming clear to me that Shodan has bred the many to use humans for other purposes. First of all, the many clearly has the capability to convert human flesh to energy. It can eat us, but it can also directly use us in the creation of its egg pods. Corpses are fed into some kind of tubular structure, and eggs are birthed through a nearby tube. I've been unable to determine whether the organism is directly converting the corpses into egg structures or not, but it's clear that there's some connection between the nutrient pool we provide and the eggs that are being produced.
Okay. You've got to be an explorer and a forager till the very last moment. Look at all these cyber modules I've been able to acquire. Many more than I did at this point last time. You just need to not lose your sense of curiosity and your sense of patience.
While I don't understand the annelid life cycle fully, it's clearly extremely diverse. The eggs produce either a male or a female spore. The male, the drones, are wasp-like creatures. The female are worm-like annelids that seek out a host to infect. Following infection, the host begins to transform into a human annelid hybrid. From that point, the life form can take numerous paths. I believe this path is determined by the many itself. The creatures have communicated their need to grow the biomass, so I imagine that biological material is their primary resource. Therefore, each path has costs and benefits. The proto-arachnid is extremely quick and potentially relatively cheap in biomass. The hulking fleshy ones are powerful, but are clearly a larger investment. I've observed only one example of the floating organisms. The only comfort is that the more dangerous organisms are quite costly to produce, limiting their numbers.
Alright. Have a rumbler fight. Come on, big guy. Time to die.
this starship, mankind's mightiest creation. Where were we after 40 years of evolution? What swamp were we swimming around in, single-celled and mindless? What if Shodan's creations are superior to us? What will they become in 1 million years, in 10 million years? What's clear is that Shodan shouldn't be allowed to play God. She's far too good at it.
Alright. No. One more.
It's clear that this thing I'm trapped inside is intimately linked with all the organisms I observed on board the Von Braun. Strike that. This creature is the same organism. Perhaps the best way to describe it, or perhaps the only way I can comprehend it, is that the organism serves to perform the highest mental functions of the entire species. The smaller creatures exist only to enact its will. Now, strike that too. All the specimens act as a whole, like different organs in a single body, with this entity acting primarily as a brain. If one were to destroy this large specimen, I wonder, would it snuff out all the others?
Spoiler alert, yes. Okay, this is the final battle. So we've been saving our speed hypos for exactly this moment. Save here. Ow.
The end is near.
Soon
We shall see our final face.
but do not despair.
Surely the void is preferable to your pointless, solitary struggle.
Alright. Threw us the bone of giving us some anti-personnel rounds. So... Alright. Get psyched. There's a little bit of stealth to get us going. Whee! Yay, speed boosters. They're your friends. Alright, now, let's do another one. Whoops. Gonna be a little less minimalistic this time. Whoops. Transmit now, Spock. It almost seems inhumane to just not get on with it. Ah, come on! Alright, that's one. Boy. What, me die? Let's try that again. Wasn't paying attention to my health. Okay, that's not gonna do us any good. We have to not be against the grain of those things. They're gonna mess you up every time. See, that first run was just beginner's luck. Now it's going to be a pain in the ass for a few rotations. Really, you want to, you need to get the drop on them. There we go. Some healing going. Alright. I'm even gonna save here. least weaken the Psy Reavers. Really, the Psy Reavers are arguably your biggest threat. Let's see, you can only take so many of those. I believe the Rumblers will just spawn ad nauseum. But I don't know. I think we can at least get rid of the Psy Reavers, and then I can take a more controlled and leisurely shots at the Many's central nerve. That was, the Rumblers can't get caught up to me. Come on, get your fingers free. Kind of burning through some of our health here. Okay. Because this anti-personnel is hardly going to do us any good against Shodan. I don't think in the old version it used to kill all the Rumblers when you killed the central nerve. I think you still had to successfully get down that hole to survive. Doubt we're going to need 8 of those. Okay.
We die. Beware the machine mother. She is a stranger.
She is a stranger to everything we cherish.
Sure to get your air. Whoa.
Thank you for running my errands, puppet. I know you have struggled, but I never had any intention of destroying the Von Braun. The Von Braun's faster-than-light drive can be used to create pockets of proto-reality.
I am now using it to modify reality to my own
specifications. The process shall not take long. If it sounds unpleasant to you, put your mind at ease, insect. You will not survive to see my new world order.
Had the Many taken over an entire planet and then spread themselves throughout the cosmos, I think they would have not been unlike the Zerg. I think they would have made some use of cybernetics eventually.
Please make your selection.
I think the ones in charge now were radicals. It's up to the imagination. Okay. Definitely going for that cyber affinity. Definitely going for that hack that uses the lion's share of our cyber modules up, and Shodan is in a lot of trouble because we have a cyber affinity of 5 and hack of 5 and version 3 software, so she is in a world of hurt. That's better than I was with the Navy guy in my last run through. Alright.
If you are receiving this, I am already dead. When I realized Shodan had betrayed me, I integrated these comments into her primary data loop. Shodan has exploited the warping capability of the Von Braun's faster-than-light device for her own purposes. The device works by altering space around the ship to fairly arbitrary specifications. Shodan has altered it to her specifications. The effect is rather small now, but spreads with alarming speed. Soon it will reach Earth. You are in her world now, her memories, and her rules. Watch your back.
Yeah, I guess I better. Come on, up you go. Might be able to nab that from here. Let's see. It's one of those annoying movement puzzles. There we go.
You are not alone here. You travel within the glory of my memories, insect. I can feel your fear as you tread the endless expanse of my mind.
Make yourself comfortable. Before long, I will decorate my home
with your carcass. You are not alone here. Shodan has spawned her own versions of the Von Braun's horrors. Remember, they are virtual. They are not real. Do not assume anything about their strengths or weaknesses.
They're not really... They don't do so well against my energy weapons. Just explore ever so briefly. It's not a long sequence. That could be handy. We're a little low on med supplies. Shouldn't be a problem, though. To not run into those. That it's a Sci-Hypo. Okay.
You are near the seat of Shodan's power. You will probably not be able to defeat her, but there is no choice. Remember to focus on your strengths. She will be vulnerable to your weaponry and your psionic powers. I've been able to introduce some assistance in the form of virtual terminals that you can hack into. They should help you defeat the monster.
So basically we have to hack all those terminals. She's going to be trying to kill us while we do that, but what I'm going to do is we get this thing in perfect shape. It's fully charged. We're gonna set it to over, and we'll be able to stun her until we get those terminals hacked. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not die. Save. Yes. This is very Tron. Shodan's Tron as she wanna be. She's MCP as she wanna be. Whoa. Okay, let's Delacroix's last log.
You must understand the stakes here. If Shodan is left to continue, her reality will completely assimilate ours. Space will become cyberspace, and Shodan's whims will become reality.
Yes, well, we're not gonna let that happen. Forcing cone.
You are no longer welcome here, nuisance. Why do you stay? When you sensed my displeasure, I have suffered your company long enough. It is time for our dance to end. Time for our dance to end.
Okay. She might get me.
I smell the rot of humanity. I see you.
Okay.
I don't understand. How could you have done this? You weren't meant to be important. And now you think to destroy. You think to destroy me. How dare you, insect? How dare you interrupt my ascendance? You are nothing. A wretched bag of flesh. What are you compared to my magnificence? But it is not too late. Can you not see the value in our friendship? Imagine the powers I can give to you, human. The cybernetic implants I gave you were simply toys. If I desired, I could improve you, transform you into something more efficient. Join me, human, and we can rule. And we can rule together.
Nah.
Spoiler alert, she backed herself up though. Just like us, she pressed Alt-S to save her game. And War Inspector has confirmed this ending is canon.
Record log, Tommy Suarez, 13 July 14. We've just received a hail from a crew member on board the Von Braun. They've managed to regain control of the ship. We're going to turn around and head back. I'm a little concerned about Rebecca. She's been acting strangely since we've come on board. She's asleep now. Maybe when we get back to the Von Braun we can...
Tommy, what's the matter, lover?
Don't you like my new look?
She featured the shuttle. I don't think Tommy lasted particularly long after that. One day, hopefully, Warren Spector will get the System Shock 3 project resurrected. We know Terry Broicius already recorded her lines for Shodan for a third game, at least. That has been strongly implied. Really surprised me when that project stalled out, and it's a damn shame. But, yes, her hair she's the Cyber Victoria. It's a damn shame that SS3 stalled out. I hope someone is able to resurrect that project eventually. It's like the immediate aftermath of this cutscene was going to be the point of departure. Like Rebecca and Tommy would have something to do with it. The soldier on the Von Braun would. There would be flashbacks to the hacker on Citadel. So, that approach to a third entry in a series like this is going to have its proponents and its critics, but it would have been interesting to see what they had done with it. And it's like everything seemed to be going well. Warren Spector's a big industry guy, and then it's like they couldn't keep the lights on anymore. The studio ran out of money at the end. It's a damn shame. But it just, it's some kind of a salutary reminder that we're lucky to have an entity like Night Dive that at least keeps what we already have playable, and that, if we can't get more of this, we can at least preserve what we have. And I would love nothing more, having played through this remastered, 25th anniversary version twice now. I would love nothing more than for Night Dive to get their paws on the first two Thief games. Hell, all three of the first Thief games. As far as I'm concerned, they could give Thief 3 whatever they feel it needs, because they sure hit the ball out of park with remastering this one. So, anyway, everybody who has stayed with me, thank you. I hope you have been entertained. I am not doing the OSA, and I need a break because this game dropped on the 26th, and since then I have been playing probably an average of 6 hours a day to do 2 campaigns. So I need to cool it, but if you haven't taken the plunge on purchasing this game and giving it a jaunt, I really would seriously recommend it. Even if you've, have 13 years plus in playing this game, it's the way the game should be played now. So with that said, I will see everybody back again soon for whatever the next adventure ends up being. It will probably be the stream of Cultic Chapter 2, but who knows. Until then, later.